Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse and Live with Cindy. Today is Friday. It's the first Friday in September. It's the 7th. I can't believe it. I have such a great show for you today. We're going to dive into art and local happenings and everything that's happening in Fallbrook. We're going to give you the scoop. Before we get started, I want to mention that if you want to be a guest on our live show, we would love to have you and help elevate your brand for 2018. So make sure you hit us up on Facebook or on social media at The Pulse SD, or contact us at the website and tell us your story so we can get it out there and share that with our fans and our viewers. Now, without further ado, I'm so excited about my show today. I have Maggie Ramos with me, local artist and photographer, multi-talented. How are you?
Good morning, Cindy. I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me here.
I'm so excited to have you. So Maggie and I met at the Mega Mixer this year. We were working an event, and she was telling me a little bit about her art, and we've kept in touch. And so I was so excited when she decided to really put her art out there to have her come on the show and showcase her art. We're going to talk about her art. We actually have some on display as well. But before we talk about the art, I want to know your story. You're a Fallbrook person, right? You grew up in Fallbrook
person. My parents many years ago immigrated to California. It goes back to my grandparents, actually. They're originally from Guadalajara, although I was born and raised in San Diego. And they thought it was important to take us down there to learn our roots. My parents are still very traditional. I admire them because when they make tamales, they make it totally from scratch.
Yeah.
They grow the corn, they grind the masa, and it becomes a once-a-year thing.
I love that. I love that. So I want to know, because obviously art is very important to you. So I want to know how you got your inspiration and how did you get your start in art?
For me, art is a must. I live off of art, meaning I just have to create it. People from around me inspire the art, things that I've experienced with other people, experiences of my own. I do a little bit of photography, I do watercolor, I do mixed media, as you can see as well.
Well, and you did poetry when you were younger, right? Is that kind of how that got started?
Poetry was very hidden in me. I used to write poetry before I learned that I was writing poetry. And actually nobody knew that I was writing poetry because I would never show it with anybody. And I have to admit, it took me a very long time to start sharing it. And one day I came across one of Judy Habert's seminars, and I started sharing my art. She's been publishing my poetry, my creative writing for several years. And recently...
And she's the publisher of San Diego Women's Magazine.
She's a publisher of San Diego Women's Magazine, CEO. And recently I also started writing articles for her. So from creative writing, I went into articles as well. Poetry is so embedded in me that when I was going through my English courses, my essays would come in a poetry rhythm style, and I would have to rewrite them until I took the entire poetry out of it.
Well, and you're a student at MiraCosta College, too.
That is correct. I do attend MiraCosta College. MiraCosta has been a very great place for me. It's a safe place. I've came across a lot of supportive people.
I love that. Well, okay, so I know your art tends to be emotional. We were talking about this before. She's like, I'm very emotional about my art. I'm like, that's okay. You should be. It's your art. It's a passion. So I want you to walk through some of the art. I know we have a few on display today, but you said it's kind of like people around you that, inspire you.
That is correct. I do have I don't have a tendency. I am very emotional with my art, and pretty much is because I put my soul and my spirit in pieces that I create. This one goes back to my grandmother, actually, and I was thinking about my mother when I created it, and I titled it the Hardworking Invisible Woman, and it's dedicated, as you can see, there's a pair of chanclas right here, and those actually do belong to my mother.
I love that.
And the pig, because my father being a landscaper and a tree trimmer is like what you do at work, you don't want to come back and do it at home. Mm-hmm. So my mother has a great green thumb, so she takes care of our yard, our greens. And she learned it from her own mother, being a hard worker.
I love that. That's great. And so what about this one?
This one was inspired for Dia de los Muertos, but it was also inspired on when we move on to wherever we go. better place, peace, wherever we go. And when I was finished it, I was like, she's missing something. I made her a she, and I realized that she was missing the tag. We always get the tag when we go to the other side, and we pretty much throughout our life, we're always a number, but that tag always goes with us.
Wow.
So that's what's, I think, a little bit different from others.
And are most of them prints that you do? And then watercolors, or how do you decide how you're going to do?
This is actually a watercolor, original watercolor.
So that's an original watercolor.
This is an original watercolor. This is an original. This was actually done at MiraCosta Original Darkroom.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, so each piece is kind of you curate each piece individually.
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
And I say that my art is 95%, 97% original.
Okay.
Because I don't research for photos. I do my own photos. Something catches my eye and I say, I'm going to create art out of this one day.
Okay.
So I feel inspired. I feel ready to make the piece of whatever I have, the photo I had taken of. And that's where my art comes from.
And this piece I love behind us. This is gorgeous.
This piece is kind of an abstract.
Amazing.
And this is actually a mixed media. It's very earthy, as you can see.
I love the colors.
It has real lavender in it. And it has cocoa powder, coffee powder. I used wax for it, and I actually used blueberries for it.
Oh my gosh!
So it's like
it's really earthy.
It's very well conserved to keep for many years. I
How
use
long does it take you?
Arches paper.
Like how long did that take you to put that together?
Because of the drying periods, a few days. But other than that, I don't know. I'm gonna say between, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 hours.
Wow. That's amazing. I love it. So each piece is so different. I love this about you. Okay, so I have to ask you, because the name of your company is Intuitions.
The name of the company is Intuitions.
So is that just, how did you come up with the name?
I follow my instinct a lot. I don't know anything about cocktails because I've never really been like a cocktail person, like drinking person. Mm-hmm. But then on the other hand, I created a series of 7 pieces of cocktails that I was just following my instinct. And working for Atkins Nursery in the past is how one of the ways that I became very familiar with the fruit and learning about it. Atkins Nursery, you can find passion fruit when it's in season, great red ruby. And the thing is about coming to the farm directly is that you can eat it at the prime time. And their oranges are really juicy.
Oh, everything looks well. And she's talking about Atkins Nursery because she's hosting a fabulous event. So we should probably back up a little bit and explain that on the 15th, we're so excited that she's having this great event to showcase her art. So she's really putting her artwork out there, which we love. We love to support local artists. And so on the 15th, we're going to be there. You're showcasing your art for the first time, right?
It's not going to be nothing fancy. It's going to be casual. And it's going to be a art show / tour. So that you guys can come on the premises of Atkins and admire the trees and how pretty much learn. A lot of people don't realize it's like, yes, we go to the grocery store and we buy the fruit, but where does it really come from? Mm-hmm. And especially when you pick it at prime time and you eat it at prime time. This morning I made some passion fruit juice.
She's going to have some fresh drinks for us at the event on the 15th, made from the fruit from Atkins Nursery, which I'm so excited. And there's tours of the nursery too. So when you come on the 15th, and it's from 3 to 7, right? 3 to 7. 3 to 7. You get to take a tour of the nursery. You get to try some of the fruit. And what did you make? Are you going to be making this?
I'm not sure that I'll be making this. I'll probably do other stuff. Passion fruit is coming to the end of the season.
Okay.
It's kind of like grapes. Passion fruit grows in a vine, so it's like they all come at once, and they leave soon.
And what else is in here?
In here is pretty much just passion fruit and orange juice.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, when I made it, I felt like it was too sweet for me and too concentrated. So I did dilute it with a little bit of water, and that's upon people's choice. But basically, is orange juice directly from the oranges that I cut up from Atkins Nursery, and the passion fruit that I picked up from there as well.
It smells so good.
Cheers.
Well, I have to have cheers. I have to have a little taste. I mean, you can smell how fresh it is.
The sweetness of the oranges and the sweet tanginess of the passion fruit makes it really, really good, and it's really, really fresh. So if you add ice to it, I mean, it's delicious.
That's all you need. And okay, so let's tell everybody about the event. We're going to be there. The Pulse will be there. We're going to be filming. We're going to be covering it. We're going to talk to Maggie on camera there. We're just going to be showcasing Atkins Nursery. So from 3 to 7 on September 15th, DJ Mandy Mixes is going to be there mixing up some music for us.
Shaking people up.
So you can dance to, and it's a free event, right? So family,
yes, it'll be a free event upon donations.
I love that. I love that. So we love DJ Mandy. Shout out to her. She was our resident DJ for a while on our live show, and we'll get her back again. But she's going to be there. I mean, what do you want people to take away from the event? What's your goal for this event?
Pretty much that dreams can be met. I remember telling my mother one day that it was going to be published. I had no idea what I was going to publish. I was very young at the time. She looked at me, she kind of said, where's that coming from? And I said, I don't know. And all suddenly, I started with one publication in Spanish. I started with a publication in English. Like I said, I came across San Diego Women's Magazine with Judy Habert, and she's been publishing me for the last few years. I'm working on my own collection of poetry. That would be creative writing, of course. And like I said, now I started moving into articles.
I love that. So it's like, I mean, you started, you had this dream, and now you're putting it out there. I love that. So it's like never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. When I was 12, about 12, and of course we didn't have the technology that we have now, but I remember writing something and going to one of the hobby stores and purchasing one of those nice papers. And I remember telling myself, one day I'm going to be doing my own backgrounds. So sometimes I even have the tendency of putting a poem over a photo that I shot or something that I painted. It's just the creation that I like to bond. If I feel that something goes together, I bond it together, and I kind of create a little mesh. Well, we love it. We actually have the flyer up for you guys so you can get all the information. You can go to the links on thepulsesd.com. You can follow Maggie under Maggie Ramos on Facebook, right? That is correct. And your Instagram, Intuition7471. That is correct. And we have that on the screen as well. So follow her so you can find out about her artwork. She's going to be showcasing more and more. We're really, really excited for everything that you have going on. Hopefully we'll see you guys on the 15th. And we just can't wait. So cheers, and we hope that you tune in next time when we put our finger on the pulse. But thanks, Maggie. We're so excited for you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Cheers. Thanks for being on our show. Cheers. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.